In this lesson, we're going to be looking at writing linear equations in point-slope form. We have previously looked at slope-intercept form, the y is equal to mx plus b, where the m represents our slope and our b is our y-intercept. In point-slope form, what we have is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. We are able to tell what the slope is, and we're also able to identify a point within our line. So example 1, how do I write an equation in point-slope form? Let's go ahead and let's just write our equation. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. All right, so here we are given a point and we're given a slope. So when we are given this, we have this is our x1 and this is going to be our y1. So let's go ahead and plug in the parts that we know. So we know that we have a slope of -2. So for the m, we're going to plug in the -2. And then we're going to have our y, and then that's going to be minus this y1. So in the point, we're going to have -3 is equal to our slope that we have, -2, x minus, now we need to be careful with these when we have these negatives, it's going to be minus -6. And so how we'll write this then in point slope form is y minus 3 is equal to -2 times x plus 6. All right, let's take a look at number 2. So I have y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. All right, so this is our x, this is our y. So we're going to take y minus -9 is equal to our slope of 1/2 times x minus 4. Now let's just clean this up a little bit because these y plus 9 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 4. So now this is written then in point slope form. All right, number 3. So I have a slope of 4 and a point of 8.5, x, y. All right, so we have y minus y1, which is 5, is equal to our slope times x minus that x1, which is considered to be 8. And that is in point slope form. Number 4, we'll do it again. All right, so we have our x and our y again, and we have y, then minus, again, our y is -7 is equal to a slope of 1/4 times x minus -3. And again, let's make sure we clean these up. So 2 negatives make the positives, and we'll have y plus 7 is equal to 1/4 times x plus 3. All right, so we have a point of 0, 1 and a slope of 2/3. So y minus 1 is equal to 2/3 times x minus 0. And then our last one, we'll have y minus 11 is equal to 3.6 times x minus -2 x plus 2. All right. Example 2, how do I graph an equation from point slope form? Graph the point slope form equation y minus 2 is equal to 4 times x plus 3. Let's just write, I'm going to write the formula here. y1 is equal to slope times x minus x1. So we know what our slope is. Our slope is 4. And then we need to have a point as well. And remember that it was minus y1 and minus x1. So we need to take a look at these. And because they were minus, this would have been then -2 for our y, and this would have been minus a -3 to get that +3 here. So our point that we have here then is our x is going to be a -3, and our y is going to be a positive 2. So now we have a slope and we have a point. Let's go ahead and graph this negative 3, 2, the point that we know. I'm going to go negative 3 and then up 2. All right, so there's our point right there. And so what we can do is we can take our slope. We can go from this point right here, we can go up 4 over 1. And now we've got those 2 points that we can then put on the graph, and this is what that would look like. All right, so we have y plus 3 is equal to 5/3 x minus 2. All right, so we know we have a slope of 5 all over 3. Remember, this was y1 and this was our x1. So our point that we have then, it's going to be minus, and so then we had a positive 2 right there. And because we have a positive 3 over here, that means it was minus a negative. So for our y, we're going to have negative 3. All right, so let's plot our point. We're going to plot 2, negative 3, over 2, down 3. And then we know that we have the slope of 5/3. So let's, from that point, take and go up 5 over 3. And there we have our slope. And now we can connect the points, and that's where our line will lay. All right, so we have y plus 5 is equal to negative 1/4 x minus 2. So here's our y1, and this is our x1. All right, so we have a slope of negative 1/4. And our point that we're going to have then is it was minus, we have just a positive 2. And because we have a plus 5, that means that was a negative 5. And now let's plot our point. I have 2, and I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our starting point. And now let's go ahead and we're going to go, now this one has a negative 1/4 slope. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted to do it the opposite direction, I could have gone up 1 and then gone negative 4, up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? And let's go ahead and connect our points. Oops, I didn't get that very straight, but you get the idea. All right, example number 3. How do I graph an equation from point slope form when you've got 2 points? So let's just start with this. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. All right, so we need to have the slope. We're not given the slope here, but we can find the slope. Remember, the slope formula was m is equal to, let's just label these, x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so our slope formula is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So let's plug these in to find the slope first. And I'm going to take 12 minus 2 all over 2 minus 7. So that's going to give us a slope. We're going to have 10 all over negative 5, and our slope is going to be equal to negative 2. So then, now we need to put this in point slope form. Notice we have 2 points. I have the 7, 2, and I have the 2, 12. It does not matter which point you take, just take one of them. I'll just take this first one. I'm just going to cross that off because I don't need that to write my equation now that I have the slope. So I'm going to just plug it in here. Y minus 2 is equal to our slope of negative 2 times x minus x1, which is 7. And again, it doesn't matter. You could have written it using the 212 as well. All right, our second equation. Let's put x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to find the slope. Negative 7 minus negative 1 all over 6 minus negative 4. All right, these become a plus, these become a plus. All right, so negative 7 plus 1 gives us a negative 6. And then I have 6 plus 4, which is equal to 10. And let's just simplify. That's going to give us a slope of negative 3 all over 5. And again, let's just pick one of the points. So I'm going to I'll just take the first point. It really doesn't matter. So we have y minus negative 1 is equal to our slope of negative 3/5 times x minus negative 4. So y plus 1 is equal to negative 3/5 times x plus 4. All right, number 3. Tell whether the data can be modeled in a linear equation. If it can, write the equation in point-slope form. All right, so let's take a look here. We have this table, 1, 6, 2, 9, 3, 12, and so forth. So let's take two of the points. Remember, we need a slope and we need a point. So let's find the slope here. I could take these 2 points, 1, 6. It doesn't matter which 2 you take. And I could take 2, 9, the change in the y, I'll have the change in the x. x1, y1, x2, y2. 9 minus 6 all over 2 minus 1 is equal to 3 all over 1. Our slope is 3. You could have also found it, change in the y, I went up 3, and here I went up 1, change in the y, all the change in the x, which is 3 all over 1. Either way, it's fine. All right, and then we need just a point. Let's just take one of the points. Maybe I'll just take this one right here. So I'm going to have y minus y1, which is 18, is equal to our slope of 3 times x minus x1, which is 5. And there we have it. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to write equations in point-slope form.